as well. But let's quickly get on board with our technical expert of the show, Nilesh Jain of Centrum Broking. Nilesh, good morning. So good to have you on the show.
Good morning.
Nilesh, good morning. Nilesh, let me start off. Nifty has breached below that 200 DMA levels in yesterday's trading, but we saw some recovery in yesterday's trading session. So does this point that we could see some positive momentum build up in today's trade?
Absolutely. So today, yesterday, in fact, the Nifty slipped below its 200-day moving average. But the good part was that towards the closing hour, we have seen a 100-point recovery. So it is not the opening, but the closing that is likely to matter the most today. Although we are expecting a gap of opening, but it is important that Nifty should hold on to its gain. And it is important as well to reclaim its 200-day moving average, which is currently placed at 20,560. So if it reclaims and closes above the same, then there are high possibility of a short covering rally, which will take Nifty towards 23,700 to 23,800 on immediate basis. Although there are high probability of the supply coming in near about 23,800, 24,000 zone. Reason being, if you look at the derivative data, we have seen a constant call writing at 23,800, 24,000 strike. The good part is that the put writers are also active at 23,300, 23,400. So looking at the overall setup for the day, we expect Nifty to oscillate in the range of 23,400, 23,600 and a much awaited pullback, which is something that we might see in today's trading session.
Okay, all right. Some pullback that could be eye out in today's trading. Nilesh, Bank Nifty, that held ground in yesterday's trade. So what are the new levels that we need to watch out from here on?
See, Bank Nifty is bucking the trend. Yesterday, we have seen an outperformance, and for the second consecutive session, the Bank Nifty has provided some respite. The good part is that it is trading well above its 200-day moving average. So overall, we expect Bank Nifty to continue to outperform in the November series as well. And on the upside, the immediate level that we are expecting it to test 51,000. So these are the spot levels. Till the time it doesn't takes out the 49,800 level on the lower side, we continues to maintain our bullish outlook in the Bank Nifty. So overall setup looks positive given the kind of rebound that we have seen in the index heavyweight counters like ICICI Bank, Axis Bank, and also Kotak Mahindra Bank. So on the back of that, we expect Bank Nifty to test 51,000 to 51,500 from here.
Okay, 51,000 that we need to watch out. Nilesh, moving on from Bank Nifty, if you look at Nifty IT index, that did not do well in yesterday's trading session because of Powell's remarks also. But from the long term, do you believe that the IT would see some recovery from here on? Because we've seen some good management commentary coming in after Q2 results.
Absolutely. So the broader structure is still looking strong. No doubt yesterday we have seen an underperformance from the Nifty IT index, but good part is that there are multiple supports that are in place. So if you look at Nifty IT index as a whole, 41,400 was the closing price, and if you look at 100-day moving average support, that is coming around 40,900. And it is also trading well above its 200-day moving average. The major structure is hinting that gradually it is likely to inch to a new record high from here. So yes, it's good time to accumulate the quality IT stocks, not only large cap but also mid cap and small cap ITs. I think yesterday's fall has given a good opportunity. It's time to accumulate.
All right, time to accumulate IT stocks. But let's take some stocks in focus. First up is GMR Airports. The company came out with its October passenger traffic, wherein we saw 9% year-on-year increase in number of passengers. This includes traffic of both domestic and international. Aircraft movements also rose by 9% year-on-year in the month of October. Nilesh, GMR Airports, as a stock, it hasn't really done well in the past 3 months. But what does the near-term hold for GMR Airports?
Right, so GMR Infra, we have seen a good decline recently, and in last few trading session, it looks like it is trying to find some support and multi-month support, which is placed at 75 levels. So as long as it holds above 75, there are high possibility of a pullback, and this pullback may extend towards 81 to 84. So overall, the structure after such kind of a decline, I think the risk and reward looks favorable to initiate a long position. And support is going to be at 75. That should be the stop loss for the long position, and we expect a pullback towards 81 to 85.
All right, 81 to 85. But metal counters, Nilesh, that stood well in yesterday's trading session as well. So what can we eye for metal stocks? Because we had some China stimulus measures as well, and then yesterday also China came out with some export rebate norms. What can we see for metal indices?
Absolutely. So yesterday we have seen that Nifty Metal Index broke its 6 days of losing streak and formed a bullish candle on daily time frame chart. So overall, metal index after a sharp decline, we expect this pullback to extend further. So within metal space, counters like NMDC, where we expect a pullback to continue towards 228, 230. Apart from that, from aluminum space, Nalco, which is almost trading at all-time high levels. Yesterday, we have seen one of the biggest spike in Nalco and also Hindalco. So we are liking aluminum space as a whole. So both these stocks are looking positive. Hindalco may extend this gain towards 675 to 680, and the stop loss can be placed somewhere around 635. So overall, yes, metal looks positive for a pullback to continue.
All right, positive commentary coming in for metal indices. But yes, the first rates on your screen, both the benchmarks have opened on a positive note. Sensex is up about that 300 points. Nifty above that 23,500 levels. If you look at most of the sectors are trading in the green. We can see Nifty Media Index especially has been up about 1% in today's trade. Apart from that, Bank Nifty also doing well, Auto Indices also doing well, Nifty Realty also doing well. So all of them sectors trading in the positive territory in the opening bell. Apart from that, we can see India Wix that has cooled off from its highs, and it is down about 4% and trading about that 14 odd levels. If you look at the broader end of the markets, that is also outperforming. Mid cap and small cap indices up about 0.4% in today's trade. If you look at some of the top Nifty 50 gainers, that includes your Trent, BPCL, Infosys, NTPC, Adani Ports. So Trent, after yesterday's losing streak, today it is topping the Nifty 50 gainers charts. Apart from that, Infosys, once again, it is among the top Nifty 50 gainers. After yesterday's losing streak for IT stocks, IT stocks has been seeing a little bit of a reprieve. NTPC is doing well. We can see the NTPC Green IPO, which is opening for subscription today. So do watch out for NTPC and the up moves as well. If you look at some of the top Nifty 50 losers, that includes your Dr. Reddy's Lab, Shriram Finance, SBI Life, Asian Paints and JSW Steel. So quite a stock specific reaction that is coming in for the first rates coming in for us. But let's move on to another stock in focus, which is your Shilpa Medicare. Well, the company's arm, Shilpa Pharma, it has bagged a European certificate for suitability for its API drug, which is supposed to cure severe diarrhea. Nilesh, the stock has been quite range bound post September peaks. Can we expect some upside for Shilpa Medicare?
Absolutely. So today the stock has given a good breakout from a symmetrical triangle formation. The structure is looking good. I think there has to be a follow-up move which will take Shilpa Med towards 950 to 970. So yes, can be bought on declines because it's already up close to 6%, so not advisable to chase after such kind of a gap of opening. So better to wait for some meaningful dip towards 890, 880 probably. That could be a good entry point. Keep a stop loss below 850. And we are expecting this stock to test 950 to 970 from a very short term point of view.
Okay. Another stock in focus is your Honasa Consumer. After yesterday's 20% lower circuit, today also Honasa Consumer is down about 15%. We have had disappointing Q2 results. The stock has slipped below its IPO price as well. Nilesh, Honasa Consumer, what do you expect? How much further downside can we see from here on?
Back to back, the gap down opening we have seen in this particular stock, the trend is still looking negative. And we might see a pullback after such a sharp decline, but this pullback is very unlikely to be a sustainable. So we expect this stock to test 230, 220 kind of levels on the lower side. Very difficult to say how much pullback we will see in this particular stock, but the immediate hurdle that comes around 280.
All right, 280 hurdle, but 230 and 220 levels as a support we can find out. Another stock in focus is Vare Energy. It is down about 4% in today's trade after it came out with its Q2 performance. Well, the company's net profit rose strongly by 15% year on year. However, the revenue was moderate and it was flat about 1% year on year. Nilesh, last month the stock listed with a bumper 70% premium. Do you expect this uptrend to see some fizzle out from here on?
Well, Abhishek, I have very limited data in this particular counter, but whatever data I have, it looks like the stock has a very strong support at 2800. And if at all we see any dip towards those levels, that might get bought into. And we'll see a gradual up move in this particular counter towards 3200 to 3400 from here. So overall setup is not looking that weak, and any dip can be used as a buying opportunity, keeping a stop loss below 2800.
Okay, any dips can be used as a buying opportunity for Wari. All right, and now moving on to next stock in focus is your PG Electroplus. That is doing well in today's trade, up about 13 to 14%. The company's arm PG Technoplus that became the partner for EVs of Spiro Mobility. It aims to manage and set up manufacturing facilities for EVs and lithium batteries. Nilesh, PG Electroplus, the stock hasn't performed well if you look at the 3 months charts. But can we expect, today it has popped up, so can we expect a further breakout from here on?
Right. So today the counter has given a good spurt of close to 12%, and the major structure is looking very strong. The stock has been in a secular uptrend. I think the target on the upside for this particular counter comes around 750 to 800. So very strong set of chart can be seen in this particular counter. But again, as we have seen a good spurt today, so better to buy in a staggered manner, buy on dips, keep a stop loss below 645. And if somebody is already holding the long position, I would advise to stay put, keeping a trailing stop loss for the upside target of 750 to 800.
All right, 750 to 800. Now let's straight dive into our viewer queries. They've been waiting in anticipation. The first query coming in from Naveen, he's asking the view on PCBL Chemical. Nilesh, PCBL today it is doing well, up about 2% in today's trade. But if you look at 1 month charts, the stock after the September highs has been on a downward spiral. What can we expect the near term holds for PCBL?
So decline was seen across the board due to the market correction. Mid cap, small cap, all have corrected. So similar kind of decline was seen in PCBL as well. But it looks like the stock may find support somewhere around 360 to 370. And today it looks like it is forming a small bodied bullish candle. So we might see a follow-up move, which will take this particular stock towards 420 to 440. But we need a decisive breakout above 450 to negate the formation of a lower top and low bottom. And if it breaks 450 on the upside, then the next target would be somewhere around 500 plus. So if somebody is already holding, then keep a trailing stop loss at 370 and stay put.
All right, 370 stop loss we can put for the stock. But moving on to the next query coming in is on Naveen. He's also asking the view on Bank of India. Bank of India, Nilesh, so far this year the stock hasn't really performed well. Be it 6 months or YTD charts, the stock has been an underperformer. What do you expect? Does the near term hold? Can we see a further down move from here on?
So overall, within PSU banks, I think there are better options available. So Bank of India is not looking that great. The stock has been in a downtrend, and the structure still hints that there may be another leg on the lower side towards 100 or maybe 98 kind of levels might be seen. But as of now, since we are witnessing a pullback in the market, so Bank of India may witness a pullback towards 110 to 114. And probably one should take a call to shift the position to better names like SBI, BOB, and Can Bank.
All right, SBI. That is the take coming in. Another query coming in from Badrul is he bought Credit Access Grameen at 1100 rupees per share. But now it is he's seeing at a loss because the stock is trading about that 880 levels. What should he do at this point of time, Nilesh? Should he book loss, or what is the near term hold for Credit Access Grameen?
So the stock after hitting highs near about 1780 to 1800, it has constantly witnessed a sharp decline, and counter is forming a low top and low bottom. So currently it is in the oversold territory. There are high possibility of a pullback towards 900 to 950. But I would advise to take an exit call in this particular stock since the structure is not looking that promising. Unless and until if somebody has a view of more than 1 year, then one can stay put, keeping a stop loss below 800. But still, I would advise to review it if at all stock witness any pullback towards 950 to 1000 because the major structure is not looking that good.
All right. Let's move on to our next query that is coming from Jami Prashant. He's asking the view on Linde India. He's been holding the shares, he's holding 500 shares at the rate of 8,500 rupees. Seeing a bit of a loss, Linde India. If you look at 6 months charts also, Nilesh, it has not been doing well. But what is the near-term hold for Linde India?
So yes, absolutely. The stock is constantly witnessing a decline, and the structure hints that it is likely to test the levels of 6350, 6300 on the lower side. So if it is bought it from a trading point of view, then the ideally one should keep a stop loss for the long position. And as of now, the stop loss comes around 6300. And if at all you see any pullback towards 7000 to 7200, I think you should review it again because the major structure is not looking that attractive from a short to medium term point of view.
All right, let's move on to our next stock in focus, Britannia Industries. Well, the Delhi High Court has ruled in favor of Britannia Industries against the trademark infringement case against Desi Bites to protect its trademark for Good Day. Well, the case has come into limelight due to unauthorized use of trademark for Son Papri and Papad as well. But as a stock, Nilesh, Britannia has been an underperformer this year. So what does the near term look like for Britannia?
So overall, FMCG space as a whole, if you see, has been one of the underperformer in the recent time. We have seen a continuation of a low top and low bottom, not only in Britannia but also in Dabur, HUL, and all rest of FMCG names. But overall, Britannia, the structure is looking slightly on a weaker side, and back-to-back big bearish candle we have seen recently. So overall, it's not advisable to take any contrabet at current level. Better wait for stock to settle down. The next support that is placed somewhere around 4600. So looks like the stock is heading towards 4700 to 4600. Then we might see what is the next development. But as of now, it's an avoid.
All right, avoid at this point of time. Let's take another stock in focus. Hemant is asking the view on Tata Motors. Tata Motors, if we look at 6 months charts, of course, it has not been performing well. What is the near-term mode? Because most of the brokerages have also been turned out very negative on Tata Motors. We've seen some pain in Jaguar Land Rover arm as well. So what is the near-term hold at this point of time for Tata Motors?
See, Tata Motors has corrected sharply from the levels of 1150 to almost 800. It is currently trading below that. So it is no doubt in the oversold territory. So some relief rally that cannot be ruled out. But again, a similar approach is not advisable to chase this kind of a negative trend, and better it's an avoid. And although we may see a pullback towards 820, 850, but we still need to see whether we see any base formation in this particular counter. So if somebody is already holding the long position, can stay put, keeping a stop loss below 765, and somebody wants to take a contrabet, then also keep a stop loss at the same level. But within auto space, there are better options available. Mahindra and Mahindra will be our preferred bet within auto space, where we expect momentum to continue towards 3000 to 3200 from a short term point of view, and stop loss can be placed somewhere around 2800.
Okay, all right. That is view coming in for Tata Motors. Let's take a viewer query right now. Puneet Rajiv Saxena, he's been asking the long-term view on Lakshmi Organics. He's been holding it since 2021 at 130 levels. So 130, quite a bit of an upside seen for Lakshmi Organics. But if you look at the YTD and the 6-month charts, the stock hasn't really performed well. So, Nilesh, what can we expect from here on? The company also plans about a 182 crore capex.
So the stock has been one of the underperformer, not only from a short-term point of view, but if you see in the year 2021, the stock made a high of 550, 570, and since then we have seen a time-wise correction, price-wise correction, both. But good part is that the stock has found support near about 220. Multiple bottoms can be seen at 220 levels. So at current level, I think if somebody is already holding the long position, then continue to hold. Keep a stop loss below 220. From a longer term point of view, I think the stock has the potential to witness rebound going forward, and it may test the levels of 330, 360 from a short to medium term point of view. And if somebody is willing to hold for 1.5 to 2 years, then high possibility of testing 400 plus kind of levels as well.
All right, 400 levels plus as well for a long-term horizon. Let's take another viewer query. That is your Aman. He's been asking the view on Zomato. So, what does Zomato look like? We have seen a good Q2 performance coming in. The stock has also been doing well. It is above that 250 odd levels. So, what is the near-term hold? What is the next target that we can eye for Zomato, Nilesh?
So overall structure looks pretty strong, and we expect this stock to test 300 plus level from a short to medium term point of view. It has formed a very good support at 240. So ideally 240 should be the stop loss, buy and decline should be the strategy, and 300 plus target is something that we are expecting. The stock may test a new record high as well. So a strong set of chart can be seen in Zomato.
All right. Another viewer query coming in from Alex is the view on Indus Tower, and if there is any other telecom stocks that you can recommend at this point of time. So Indus Tower, what do you think, Nilesh? How does the near term look like?
So Indus Tower, we have seen a recent decline from the levels of 460 to almost 320. Now we expect a pullback towards 350, 360. So that pullback can be played keeping a stop loss below 318. So it can be played purely from a trading point of view, but we do not hold any medium to long term view in this particular counter. Better stock would be Bharti Airtel. If you want to play telecom, then I think it's a good time to start accumulating Bharti Airtel. We have witnessed a good decent correction in this particular counter. The stock is currently near its support zone of 1500. So that should be the stop loss, and it can be added as a portfolio stock. The stock has a potential to hit a new record high from a short to medium term point of view.
All right. But just one last question before we let you go, Nilesh. What are your trading picks at this hour? Because we are seeing a rebound. So, what is a good, right time to accumulate at this point of time?
Right, Avisha. So we spoke about auto counter Mahindra and Mahindra. So that is looking attractive as of now. One can keep a stop loss below 2850, and this particular counter can be bought from a trading point of view. 3000 to 3100 will be our short-term target. Apart from that, within realty space, Lodha. So that particular cash counter is also looking attractive given the kind of rebound that we have seen in this particular counter. We expect the upside to continue towards 1320 to 1360. Stop loss can be placed somewhere around 1240. So with a stop loss of 1240, Lodha can also be bought. So this will be our two bets on the long side.
Okay, M&M and Lodha, those are the two picks that are coming in from your end. But thank you so much, Nilesh. Thank you for taking out time and answering the viewer queries. We hope that we connect with you soon.